What have we got here? Oh, isn't that a beauty? I've no idea really, but I'm going to hazard a guess at a milk cap. But that's beautiful, an isolated mushroom. And then we've got something else here. So, of course, that was a security guard in the last video. And he was alright, he just said, "You're not supposed to film here, and they've sent me because they saw you filming." And I showed him my mushroom collection and, had a bit of a chat with him. And I said, the funny thing is, I was just saying, whilst I was speaking into my camera, that there's going to be lots of cameras watching me at this moment in time. He said, "You wouldn't believe it where there's cameras, and I'm not going to tell you, but you wouldn't believe it." And I'm like, try me. I said, "I bet there's even cameras in that wood that I'm going to go over and have a wander around in now." And so yeah, I had a little bit of a chat with him, told him what I was doing, fusking around for shrooms and pointing out all the shrooms to him, and he seems a decent enough chap. But yeah, that's the nature of it. There's always someone looking at you, but they don't want you to look at them. So here, this is my stash so far, and I'm doing well. That one's quite a prize, that one is. Hopefully that one, well, hopefully none of them will be damaged. But I've got enough to keep me going there, and I'm happy with that afternoon's foraging. Let me just put you down here a minute, guys. I'm coming. Right, so I've got my faithful steed, my ash staff, and I've cracked a bottle. I've got my beef crinkle cut chips in my bag. So here is quite a haven for squirrels, and of course, squirrels being squirrels, they just come and have a look at you. They're like, 8 feet away, and they just have a look at you. And I've seen where they've built their drays, and I saw one of them actually bolt into his dray. It's a freshly built dray out of supple bended over branches and leaves. And so it's great how they do them. Now in this little wood, all these trees are protected, and they're all purposely planted. And it was the wood I was showing you on the last film. And they've all got numbers on them. And I was just looking at a beech tree, and I'm going to show you that beech tree because kind of like they can be a bit spooky, people. I'm telling you, this is why trees, they've got so much mythology to them, because the woods, they are alive, and there most certainly is spirit, and I feel a spirit in all the woods I go into. And so I'm looking for boletes or porcinis, ideally, something like that. I'm looking for some brittle gills or something, but not finding any of those. But you know, you see, the thing is, there's a friend of mine, you're probably watching this video now, who goes foraging in woods given to much more fungi than I'm privy to around my local region. If I want to go and have a good day fielding for fungi, I have to travel about 10 miles. Because I don't have a car, then I can only do that when Mr. Nobody comes to pick me up. But around my local vicinity, there's not a great abundance, and so it makes it really special when I do come upon something, because it's most unexpected. It's not like you walk in a forest and they're everywhere. Fungi. I don't think that's probably necessary, that pleasant, to be fair. So we've got a recent casualty. That one's new, and it's a beech. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to drink this beer quite sharpish, so I've got my hand free to hold my staff. But there was a beech tree, and like all trees, they're unique. And they're creepy. Here it is, this one. Sorry mate, but I've just been calling you creepy. Right, I'm going to put my staff down there. I'm going to put my bottle down. And I'm going to pay attention. Now, this is a beech tree. And the characteristics of beech trees are, of course, their leaves, which I'll show you in a minute, but their barks. You see how their bark is very smooth, and you see that one up there, it's almost flesh-like, isn't it? And then when the limbs come out and go that way and that way, and it comes out and goes that way and that way. And this one here, look at that one, how he decided that it was going to come out here, but then it received a signal from control which told it then to send its branch out over here, because over here, you see, there was nothing. Now over here, look, let me just tell you people, I'm getting serious here now, and this shows you the intelligence of trees. Now this tree has got these two limbs coming out. It knew that it had this area catered for to capitalize on the light, and so we can see when we come back here, right, we've got this limb here, which is here's the leaves, by the way. That is a beech tree. Now then, these go beautiful and golden in the fall, and they absolutely litter the whole of the floor. But what I'm saying here is, people, please do pay attention. This branch here is catered for this, right? This branch here is catered for this, right? And what they do is they spread out to catch the light, and there's not much of it coming through this canopy. Now, that branch was coming up over here, right? But you can see it had a change of heart, and it drastically changed its direction by veering round there to capitalize on this region which wasn't capitalized on. There's no branches here, you see, people. Look, that's the only branch. And so you see what's gone on there. Let's have a look at it again. Look how it's done it. Instead of going all the way over there, it did a 90 degrees. That is intelligence, that is thinking. That's when a tree thinks. Look at it this way. It's not just like, oh, it's just going for the light. Because it already set out on that trajectory. But then, the intelligence of the whole tree knew that it had the light covered in that direction, but it was completely open to be capitalized on over here. And so that's what it did. You can see so many instances of trees, plants, doing this, that when we come up on it time and time again, you have to rule out chance or, oh, that's just what trees do. No, it's not. Well, it is, but they're thinking about it. They are thinking about everything they do. And when they send their branches up into the world, they are calculating the balance on this side and on that side, and then they're calculating on how much light cover they've got over here and how much they've got over there, and they're trying to get it evenly. Of course, they want an even distribution of light, encapsulating, capitalizing, because light is their life. They thrive on light because they, you know, they do this photosynthesizing thing whereby they change the photons into glucose. Can you believe that? Through photosynthesis, creating chlorophyll, and then chlorophyll changes into glucose, and so the tree lives on glucose, on energy, people. Fuck. So when I come upon a tree like this, it freaks me the fuck out, because I know that that tree is fucking smart. And so I'm going to greet this fellow and I'm going to say, how are you doing, mate? You've got a nice little wood here with other little trees, and you're not bothered, and you've got nice squirrels and woodpeckers and wood pigeons and all that. It's all right around here. You've done well. I mean, because the human being, you see, they planted this small collection of trees for the aesthetics. And it's fortunate for you that they've not planted you to cut you down, to use you as timber and burn you. And so you're going to be here forever until you die. And that's a cool thing. Now, I'm just looking at what's gone on here. They've got that cable up there. What's that cable doing up there? It's like water pipe, which is running across there. Can we imagine now that this water pipe got in the branch when this was just growing? And of course it did, because nobody would have put it up there in their right minds, would they? So that old water pipe that is here has probably been there for like 100 years. And as this tree grew, it got hold of it with that branch there, and it took it up as it grew. Now, things for me like that they're just fascinating. And you can see it's doing it again here. It's exactly doing it again here. Now this sucker, these are called suckers when they come off the main trunk. And so you see it's carrying it up there again. Now then, that isn't a water pipe, that's an electrical pipe. That's heavy, that's full of copper, that is. So whatever they were using this electrical pipe, cable for, that's what's happened. And I wonder why this has gone like this. But you see, that's what I love about coming out into these places and using my mind and observing and seeing what's going on. And when we know that we can rationalize things like that, when we can see what's happened, and when we notice and go, hang on, that's an anomaly, what on earth has happened there? And then we follow it back. This tree has got to be 100 years old. That cable, electric cable, has been up there for a long time. Wow. I can't think of anything else that I would rather be doing, people. This is just so thrilling and exciting and invigorating and engaging. Why would I want to be doing anything else? Now, I saw a mushroom whilst I was speaking. Let me just have a sup on my beer. Tell me if you find this interesting. Well, I suppose if you've got this far, then there's obviously something. And then, just around the base of this trunk here, we've got a grouping of isolated flowers. And I don't know what variety of flower they are, but they've got these reeds here, and they're kind of unusual in here. And we can see there that there's a bulb, and so that would have been interesting to see what that was. Looks like it might have been a yellow flower. And then we've got a whole bunch of fungi here, and I think that this fungi is edible, this sort of thing. Only don't be eating it on the strength of me saying that, because I'm just guessing. Can't remember, you know, the amount of stuff I've listened to, watched and read. So that tree is covered. And the thing is about, you see these beech trees, they send out their branches like this. And when you go underneath, well, like lots of trees really, but not all trees, they really do capitalise on the light. And look at the spread they've got. And then when you look underneath, and you can see, you really get the picture how they try to cover every single gap because they want to capitalise on the light. And so, oh, what have we got here? Okay, now then, look. You know, spider's web there. Okay, so now then, what are you little guys? None of them are opened. They're all in that peculiar stage. Is it a particular variety? Let me have a look at you. Yeah, look at that. They're only going to be small. It's like that. Interesting. I'll have to have a couple of these species, specimens. Yeah. And that one. Beautiful. Now, got there 3 there, you see? That's interesting. And so the more, what I was just going to say is, the more we just scout around, the more we use our powers of observation. And we look deeply. We look at something and we look deeply, we look deeply, we look deeply, we compute, we see if we can see any anomalies going around anywhere. And then all of a sudden, hey, presto, something happens. So there's a golf course just over there, so you can hear people. Anyway, probably this video has been long enough. You get the picture, guys? I'm having a good time. Catch you later.